Does OCD rob you of the things that you love and enjoy the most? We're going to talk all about it. Stay tuned. That's what's up next. Hi, my name is Natasha Daniels. I'm a therapist. I make videos for people with anxiety or OCD. And today I'm going to talk to you about the things that OCD does to ruin the things you actually really enjoy. On my channel, we talk about things to help you with your anxiety or OCD and give you skills to crush it. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified, because I do make new videos every Thursday. So it's very, very common for OCD to hook into the things that you love the most, which is so cruel because it already robs you of so much that when it targets the things you love, it could be even that much harder. And I've seen this in my therapy practice and in my online community, and even with my own kids. The things that are you're the most passionate about, or that you care about the most, they become contaminated. They become a trigger. They become a source of anxiety and OCD. And so let's talk about some of that. I've seen people where they can't go in their room because they don't want to contaminate their room. And so they sleep on the couch or they sleep somewhere else in the house. Nobody can go in their room because they're worried about it getting contaminated. And yet their room is turned into a museum. They're not benefiting from their room or their cozy bed or the fun things that they love in there, because OCD is robbing that from them. I've seen it happen to pets. You love your dog or your cat or your animal, but OCD gives you an intrusive thought about them. And so you can't touch them or pet them. And sometimes it might be because you feel like, I don't want to hurt them, or I'm having an intrusive thought that feels bad. But in reality, you're hurting them because you're not able to pick them up and love them and hug them and have them feel all your love. Maybe you can't go to your friend's house because OCD says you can't because there's triggers there or something bad will happen. And so it ruins your friendships. You can't connect with your friends. Or a lot of times I've seen it impact the phone or your gaming device or your computer, where you have compulsions and rituals around how to play your game, or if you can touch your phone, or maybe you have to turn it on and off, or you have to do all these compulsions that make your phone, your computer, or your gaming system not fun anymore. And a lot of times, ironically, you do these things to protect the things that you love. OCD does so much like mind gaming that it will convince you to in order to protect this thing that you love, to do all these compulsions, which ironically are ruining the thing you love. Does that make sense? Right? So, oh my gosh, you are gonna, play this video game and then it's gonna get ruined for you. So you need to do all these compulsions to make sure it's not ruined. You're gonna sit down and watch this movie, but you don't want this movie to be ruined. So you need to replay it to make sure that you feel good or that you can hear it completely. I'm giving you random examples. There are a gazillion examples that are going to be different for each one of you because anxiety and OCD show up in different ways. But OCD will target the things you love. And here's the problem. When you believe OCD, and OCD says, if you love these are the things that you need to do. If you follow the rules that OCD is giving you, you will lose those things permanently. OCD will rob those things from you, whether they are friendships or items or belongings that you love. It will make them unavailable to you because you're doing OCD rules. The more you listen to OCD's rules, the bigger and longer the list of rules will get. That's how OCD works. And so the only way to actually beat OCD at its own game is to not do the compulsions. Those are the OCD rules. Whatever rules they're saying, don't touch the dog, or reboot your computer, or don't touch your game controller, or turn on and off your phone 5 million times, or don't go to your friend's house. Whatever it is for you, it will be different for each one of you. But when you don't follow those rules, and that can be really scary to break, you slowly get your power back. And when you get your power back, OCD gets deflated. It loses its power. It loses its hold because those rules that it's having you do are based on nothing. They are fake rules that are keeping you locked into the trap of OCD. And so when you stop doing those rules, maybe slowly break one rule or two rules, it will feel uncomfortable. And OCD will be screaming at you and being like, you've ruined it. Now your room is ruined. Now your room is contaminated. Now your dog is this. Now your video game is that. Now your phone is this. Now your friends are that. It will scream very loud at you that you have ruined whatever it is, or this bad thing is going to happen, or you're going to feel really uncomfortable. It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a bad feeling. But you ride that wave of discomfort. You say, okay, I know OCD, you're having a 2-year-old tantrum about this because I'm not following your rules. But OCD is a puffer fish. Have you ever seen a puffer fish? It blows up really big and it looks huge, but really it's this tiny fish. And so when it feels like it's in danger, it blows up really big. It's kind of like a cat, right? When a cat feels threatened, it arches up to look bigger, when really it's this tiny little cat. It's this tiny little puffer fish. OCD is this tiny little octopus. It's inconsequential, but it blows up and it makes you think that your world is going to crumble if you don't do what it says. The truth is, that is a neurological, physiological hiccup in your brain. It is based on nothing except a false signaling in your brain that's telling you that you need to do these things. Once you realize that, and you realize that you can walk off that edge and you're not going to fall down a cliff, that you are going to be okay, and you ride that wave of discomfort and you say, you know what, I'm not going to check my phone one more time, even though OCD is saying I need to, because I'm tired and I don't want to keep doing that. And I'm going to feel uncomfortable, and OCD is going to be screaming at me, being like, oh my gosh, you didn't do this. And I'm going to ride the wave. And the more I do it, the more I practice sitting in my anxiety and sitting in my discomfort, the easier it gets. Have you ever jumped into a pool in the summer? And even in the summer, it's like, whew, it's so cold at first. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is so cold. I hate jumping into cold pools. But after a while, something really interesting happens. It's more uncomfortable to get out of the pool. Then now the water feels warm and comfortable. But the temperature of the water did not change. I changed. I got used to the temperature. And the same thing happens when you resist following OCD's bossy demands. When you don't do OCD's rules, over time, you change. You get used to the discomfort and it no longer bothers you the way that it did before, and you get your power back. And that is the name of the game. I want you to get your power back, and I want OCD to get deflated, and I want you to get the things that you love and are passionate about. So what things is OCD robbing you from? What things do you love that are getting messed up because of OCD? What things, people, situations, activities are getting ruined because you're following OCD's rules instead of following your own rules? Follow what you love. When you follow what you love and you are passionate about not having it impact your phone or your animals or your friends or your room or your items, whatever it is, OCD is ruining that, not contamination or intrusive thoughts or rules. Those are all lies. OCD is actually ruining those things. And the way to get OCD to not ruin them is to not follow OCD's rules and to sit in that discomfort, in that cold, and get used to it. I know that is so much easier said than done, but once you at least realize that this is what's happening, it can give you a little bit of empowerment to say, you know what, I'm going to get my stuff back. I'm going to get the things I love back. I'm going to start with one small thing and learn how to sit in that cold water and learn how to handle the discomfort, and then I'm going to keep moving on. And I know that you can do that. So I hope that you find the sparkle in everything you do, and I'll talk to you again next Thursday. Take care.